Sorry about that. We have a little technical difficulty where I was talking about the story. For some reason, the computer screamed and started doing like screensaver or something. That's why I keep moving my hands. So I apologize. First show, technical difficulties. It's not a big old problem. But continue with this. So I was saying that Dead showed him a different path to Euronymous about what was black metal. I think he gave it the tools to express the music and project it to others. So they went to a couple of concerts in different parts of the world, mostly in Europe, Germany. They even make it to Turkey. But you know how it is when you start. It's not always gonna be money flowing. These guys were living out of the government and whatever the parents can give them, and always asking for money in order to express their music. They were not lucky at the beginning either. One of the first shows, since it was so graphical, and you can actually see it in the movie, it was so graphical with, the heads, the red ink, I will call it. So YouTube doesn't knock my video down. The reggae was flowing. That just simply grabbed, I will call it, a shining object and place it against his body, and the red ink just start flowing with the audience. Some stories say that the show would start like with 100, 200 people, and then people were so disgusted that they just left. But the ones that stay remaining, the ones that actually believe in that, eventually they're going to play part in the story, which I eventually going to tell you later. So that in Euronymous, of course, because the money wasn't flowing, he was far away from home. Depression was kicking in, living in the house all day, eating whatever they can find in their house. Make things difficult for the band to progress. They will practice less. They were always in arguments. They were always, factor of money is always complicated when you first started. The fruit of your loins is whenever the music hits the mainstream and the tickets are sold and the merch is sold and the concerts, the videos, you name it. They start getting the money flowing, and it can contribute to a better way of life while you're on tour and stuff. So yeah, they will fight all the time. Arguments, fist fighting, silver objects will be flying. It was very, very complicated. So this actually dragged down more debt, more depression, more away from home, not feeling safe, not feeling in order to express his music, fighting with his band. It's not a good formula for him. The friendship is still, I believe that, even though they express it in the movie, that Euronymous did what he did, which I'm going to touch the point shortly. They're still friends. They still live together. They still share an idea. They still share a vision that is going to take him to the next level. So when that happened, less communication, more problems to keep evolving, and more affected that than Euronymous. Euronymous was his mind busy on trying to create his own empire and trying to create a new wave of music and approach more people, influence more people, get into their minds, get into be addicted. So they will still party, they will still hang around, and a lot of these ideas, this exploration of not imagination or creativity will help Euronymous have the right tools to push after Dead is gone from this world. So things were born, like to tear our clothes, burying the clothes as much as it stink like earth, not eating yourself, be more dead than being alive. Just experience that. Everything you're on is a surf. And I think one of the key points, and is still today, it was that action of the corpse paint. Corpse paint actually exists, but people didn't know it. A lot of bands, like Merciful Fate, going a little bit out of the topic, Kiss, they will all use that white face paint with black on it in order to be more realistic, more expressive, more different, attract more people. But the way Dead did it, he was adapting his ideology of being dead. The corpse paint that Mayhem did, it was completely out of the picture. It was not following the same pattern. King Diamond has a great corpse paint, of course, inverted crosses and all that stuff. But what they did, it was more graphical, more like, how can I say? I got this nail, right? This nail belongs to my finger. Same thing with the corpse paint that did it. The face was covered in paint, but it was adapted to his body. It's not like a tattoo that you can create or you can stick it on your body and eventually you're gonna do more and more and more. This was actually belonging to him. Same thing Euronymous did. And then little tools in here, the bullets, the shiny obstacles bigger and bigger, the clothes being dark, and all this good stuff that creates those wonderful pictures that we can see on the internet now. Those dark, evil pictures that take you to that place that you want to be, that makes you happy, that your sorrow becomes your life. So eventually Dead say enough to this world. He actually took his own life. One just normal day, he was looking at the ceiling and then he just grabbed a shiny object and started flowing the red ink. But he did it with purposes. He did it just to be the end, was his actual life. So with that, besides him creating the red ink out of his skin, the final touch was to eliminate all his portion of his head using you know what. So that didn't show up for the days. He didn't show no sign of life. He didn't call. He didn't reach nobody. But Euronymous, eventually he still lived with his parents, and he went to the province of Cartor, to the house, and no response. Nobody opened the door. He went through a window and find dead. To make it simple. So some stories are more graphical than others. Some stories are saying that he actually ate, the scenario, he ate parts, but they're just stories. Maybe there were stories just to make us believe that they were really messed up in the head. But I'm more attached to my friend's death. What can I do in order to create a legacy? So that goes and get one of those, cameras, disposable cameras, and take the picture. The second album was not there. Took the picture, and that was the cover of the album. Eventually, now you cannot find it. It's impossible. You can see, probably you can Google it up, but it's gonna be blurry images of it. But that's what it pushed them to the next level. The tools that gave Euronymous pushed them to the next level. Once that album was released, Mayhem was already on the underground stream of true Norwegian black metal. But always this band run to a problem. The maintaining a voice. That lead singer wasn't there. They couldn't find somebody that could have replaced that. They couldn't find nobody that will bring that suffering and pain to the lyrics. So there was, let's call him a stalker kid, maybe a groupie, or not. Well, a groupie could be a woman, but let's say just a fan, too much want to be part of the group fan. And that's where the third person, the third character of the story pops in. His name was Bark. Bark was, how can I say, was that type of individual that he will come humble to you. He will come the type of person that I don't know nothing, I'm innocent, but on the back of face of his personality, it will be much darker and evil that you could ever imagine. And you're gonna find out at the end of the story. So Euronymous moved out of the house with the help of his dad and, wealthy family. His dad was able to pay him to get his own record store, start his new label, Dead Like Silence, and bring that all those kids that saw black metal through those short period of time, but they'll have the creativity to create more music on that same genre. So black metal will grow. It will not only be mayhem, it will be bands like Gorgoroth. Gorgoroth will be one of them, to put an example. And Immortal, all those bands, they came out from that exposure to that pain. So eventually Euronymous was keep looking for this character that could bring the life of the next album of Mayhem, and keep pushing as Mayhem be the lead band of this particular true Norwegian black metal. So it's kind of hard to determine how they met. The movie put it like he was just a stalker kid, just following them around all the time. I think that literally the guy just walk in there and say, hey, I got something to say. I got my music. This is my demo. Give me a shot to hear it. Probably the tape was thrown away, or probably Euronymous not being able to find a lead singer gave this kid the chance. So the story goes in the movie that he given a tape, and the name of the band was Burzin. When Euronymous heard Burzin, it was like here and that, different type of tunes, frequencies, but it was the same thing. It was the same energy, the same exploration of creativity that will take the genre, the music, the black metal to another level. At the beginning, he was very criticized. His name was Christian, so they will make fun of him. These guys were Satanists. They didn't know what they were. They were like witch doctors, Satanists, whatever it was darker, make it look cool. They were into it. So he heard music from Burzin, and it was an awakening. And I think they don't express in the movie, but I think what Euronymous trying to do is, let me get this kid. He wants to be here. He wants to do something. He wants to change. Let's give it a shot. Because they know. In the movie, they don't put it. They say that he lent the money to the mom. But all those kids over there, they're just filthy rich. I don't think even the poor kids live better than people that live in here. In other words. So, that's what happened. So, Euronymous reached Bart and told him, alright, you want to record your album, you want to go to the mainstream, you want to go this, you got to unite me, and then once you unite me, all your music will be under Dead Silent Records. Dead Silence will provide the name of the label, the name of the studio, but whatever music you produce, it goes to Dead Silence. It doesn't go to your pocket. And the root of evil is money. So eventually that's going to be a high price to pay for Euronymous in order to get rid of Bark. So it turned out that they recorded the album. It was pretty much on Euronymous' terms. The album was just pretty much on his terms. He wanted to, the graphic, the even some part of the lyrics would change, names of the songs were changing, but they always had that confrontation from the beginning. But then the confrontation was different. The confrontation was like, what are we doing here? We just singing party and there's no money. This one was from the get-go. I'm putting the money, I'm putting this, all you do is take my money, and supposedly you support all the bands, or you support Mayhem, or you support this, and you tell me whenever the record sells, I'm gonna give you your part, and that's it, we call it even. But what Euronymous didn't realize is that this kid was the different level of music. Yeah, Dead, I don't criticize Dead. He's a great singer, one of the best that ever happens to black metal. But Bark is a different story. Bark, his level of creativity was off the charts. When he gave the demo tape to Euronymous, pretty much all the work was done by him. The drums, the bass, the guitar, the singing. That's a lot of tasks to cover. Like me, look at me. I'm trying to do a channel. I gotta control the music, I gotta control the ambience, I gotta control the lights, I gotta control the video, I gotta control the sound. That's pretty much a lot of stuff to control in order to come out with the final product, which is you guys watching it and you guys experiencing this. So to one person to do that, it takes a lot of energy of one person. But Bark pay, Bark put out the work, Bark brought new methods to do a better sound. Bark was, well, Burson is not, Burson will be like the baby of man. Burson is a different type of radio frequencies and sounds that create a new way, and it's recognized today. Pretty much people say that Burson is ambient black metal. It has its dark roots, it has its dark sounds, it has its dark lyrics, but the sound is different. It's evolved. It's a move on from that hard, let's say darker and pretty explicit type of music. And it was perfect. It was beautiful. Like literally, sometimes when I hear a Burson, I'll be like, is this black metal or this is something else? And that's what it is. That's what happens. So when he rise, Euronymous fall. So it was Euronymous is kind of like me. I'm very competitive. When I try to do something, I can do it with the smallest resource that I have, but I want to be number one on it. I don't want no competition. Somebody walks my way, I will make sure that they understand they're on my way. So that's what happened. From the beginning, arguments and everything, now it's the competition. Person was releasing album after album after album, song after song, better sound, better sound, better sound, better sound, expressing more, expressing more, expressing more. And Euronymous sometimes will give him like whack ideas, like do this to look cool, do that to look cool, until one simple idea, it was the idea that was gonna get them in a lot of trouble. He literally brainwashed Bart to have the same beliefs that Norway was suppressed by church and that the church has to pay the consequences. He didn't realize that paying the consequences was going to be doing acts of violence against certain structures, which you could tell from what I'm talking about. Churches start acting negative against them and pretty much destroy them. Bart did a lot of that. I think they counted to him maybe 4, and then the rest were like the rest of the people that did that pretty much just followers with a twisted mind that they just wanted to be. Some people say there were other bands doing the same thing, but the cool thing about Bart, whenever the church was down and burned, he would take a picture and put it in the album. Which, if you will do that in the United States, my friend, you're gonna spend a long time in jail. Over there is like way different. It's gonna make more sense when I'm finished. When I tell you that place is far, far away, it's like traveling to a different world, because the things these kids did, you will not see the day of light here in the United States. You will not. No, impossible. Unless you pass away, you're gonna see a cruel penalty just doing that. So going back to the story, he will put that in the album, giving creativity. Euronymous already showed it kind of like Dead did, but Euronymous twisted where like more into I want admiration compared to have the right tools to make good music and make a good visual to the audience. So Euronymous will tell them like, join us, I have the Black Circle. That's what it was called. It was a basement on the record store, and he just put a bunch of inverted, you know what, black sheets, black ink in the walls, and then he will put the magnificent structure of the black metal wall, which is still today. That's the good part about that, people. They don't care if you did evil with that. They will admire it and they will place it as part of their history. So Euronymous brought Bart in to the Black Circle. What happened? Bart was better. Bart had a new product. Bart had everything. The followers will follow Bart. They will not follow no more Euronymous. Euronymous was like, your time was mayhem. This is Bart. This is person. We got something new. We got something fresh. We wanna go to that side instead of yours. So he was jealous. Like literally so jealous. But everything exploded. Once, 4, 5, police start looking, because I'm not telling that they softer over there, but they still got cops, and they will investigate it and trying to this. They could not find no simple trace. Oh, who was doing this to his churches? But this cat, the way he thinks, the mask that he was hiding, he wanted more attention. He was enjoying it. He had music, he had woman, he had everything that he needs. Pretty much the tool to auto destroy yourself. So he had the crazy idea to call a journalist in order to do a report on him, take pictures of him, and put it in the newspaper, and claim that he did all the burning. Some of them did what he did. He had the proof. He know where the fire starts. He know which location. He know everything. So the journalist believed. But the guy was tricky. He wanted his own thing too. So literally there was a session of photos, Bart supposedly not showing his face, but you can recognize the guy with the hair like this and holding that shiny object. And yeah, Bart definitely got arrested. But back in those days, the cops didn't have DNA or cameras or digital cameras or cell phones to record, or tracking devices or cell towers that they can find and they just can't track you down. It was a different time. So they didn't have nothing on Bart. But what happened? Euronymous was the type of being the bad guy, but also is a little kid, mommy and daddy's kid. When danger and the situation gets tough, he's gonna get paranoid, and really quick. He really got really paranoid. So whenever other stuff happened, which I told you I was just gonna talk to 3 characters, because then this video is gonna be like years. There was other incidents in the scene of black metal. There was other situations that they were more darker compared to what we're talking about. So police were on alert, and the media started crushing black metal as a way of life, of just destruction and pain and suffering to others, and pretty much they just declared a menace to society because they were doing things that were not right. So whenever that hit, Euronymous feel like that was going to be the downfall of black metal, and got paranoid, pulled the plug in the store. Well, he didn't put the plug in the store, but pretty much he didn't want to be there. And then the dad eventually find out and cut him off. So the store was done, and he was unpacking all the stuff, trying to take it somewhere else or whatever. And that's why he mentioned it to one of Bark's right hand, that he was gonna take him to the forest, extinguish you know what, and film it. So the word spread really quick. I think when it comes to friendship, there's no friendship, bro. Whenever they want to backstab you, they just backstab you. Whatever is the reason, they're not gonna care. They're not gonna care about the consequence. But in this situation, the consequences, it was gonna be very painful for a lot of people, and for a lot of the people that were following this man. So after that, the friend returns to Bark, telling what was gonna happen. That Euronymous said this, Euronymous said that. So Bark was like, okay, first of all, you didn't pay me my first album. You made me some type of member of this club and member of your band, and then you told me that the money that we were making for my first album, it was going to support the other band, and that the money was coming to me because I'm a member of that band. I don't think that worked that way. I think Bar got played by Euronymous money wise, just to keep supporting something that it was in development stage into something bigger. But it was the development stage. It was not generating no type of money. It was just spend. and that's when Euronymous hit the wall. So Bart find out, and he was like, "Okay, you want to attack me? I gotta defend myself. I'm gonna attack you." And this is when the sad part of the story happens. So this kid with this other kid created a not believable story about not being part of, you know what, when somebody takes the life of another person. So Bart goes back from Oslo, and he decided to end Euronymous' life. But they were kids. They played so. I think the movie hit that part really good. They played so not using their head, and every move they did. There's a part that they end up with no gas, and they use a credit card supposedly to report it stolen. Then the other part, they rent a movie, and they claim that they were watching the movie all night, which nobody's gonna believe that crap. So he goes back to Euronymous' apartment. Previous to all this, Euronymous wanted to create that peace. He was in a different stage, I guess. His teenagers years were going to an end, and he was getting into a maturity stage, and which is say, we are here for music, we are here for a way of life. It's not worth our time to fight. So he got humble after a while of the situation with the press. But it was too late. Bart was already fed up with him. His attitudes, his attacks against him, not appreciating his work. All this just started affecting. Not like that to a depression, but affecting in an anger manner that will push somebody to hurt another person. So Bart gets there, everything pretty normal. Euronymous had promised him to give in all the rights of all the albums he participate with Mayhem. So whatever money comes out of it, Bart, the debt gets settled. He can still be bursting and can still collect from Mayhem. But it wasn't enough. Bart's plan was to make him believe that he was going to sign that contract and the peace, and they were going to continue being friends, and life was going to be beautiful after that. Euronymous was going to grow into this great artist. Bart was just going to do his thing. Black metal was going to continue to be black metal. But it wasn't the case. As soon as the door was open, the shiny object started flowing, and the red ink just get in the way. It was very difficult to watch it in the movie. I don't know if some of the parts I just lowered it down a little bit to make it less graphical for a movie picture, but I don't know what could have happened, but whatever happened in that day, it was just out of your imagination. It was just Bart releasing all that stress that he had, all that unappreciated by Euronymous, that it was simple just to extinguish that life. They say that he got hit like 19 times. I think pretty much he got hit more, and many other parts of his body. The red ink was flowing like water or pools or red ink, and that's it. Euronymous was gone. His legacy continues until today. There's a lot of documentaries about it, much better quality than what I'm offering you, but I think my storytelling and my expression is getting you connected to that story. So that was it. A lot of pain for his family, a lot of pain for his fans. An irreplaceable spot of music that will never come back. There's been a lot of artists that are missing to today. What they could approach, what level of creativity, how they could have changed the world. It hits. To some people it hits. Other people, they don't care. They just live their fake life, acting that everything is shiny, everything is nice. Money buys happiness. But when you are deep in something that is pure, something that it will elevate your character, I think there's no other situation that will make you push. So going to the end, Mark only got 9 years. He's already out. Change man, change music. Sometimes he's in YouTube, they cancel it, his channels, because sometimes he's like getting a little twitch and start going crazy again, and then book. He's just in a different world, but it was fair? I don't think so. Did that stop the music? No. All the bands surge, all the bands rises, and it was a different change. But my listeners, thank you so much to follow me this and the past hour are explaining this amazing story. All I wanted you to think that as long as you're above ground, you can change your life, you can change the world, you can create a new character for yourself. Don't suffer. Keep moving, keep going forward. Restructure your core or your soul and just keep going. This is your boy Osaros, Geneva Music. Thank you for watching tonight.